Good Lord. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being here. My name is Mike Mahaffey. I'm from Magic BJJ in Lansing, Michigan. Despite what people think, I do not own the gym.
It's Mike's gym.
It is not. It is not.
You're in Mike's gym. Oh, yeah, I do.
It is. Oh, my God. I train with my best friends in the world, Matt Linsmeyer and his wife, Amy, and we got a couple other people from Magic here this weekend. So thank you guys for having me. Rough Hand is my home away from home. And what I want to talk about today is closed guard. Okay? How many people like to play closed guard? Oh, I hope to change some of that after this, right? So I am affectionately known as Old Bastard. I didn't make up that. What's that? Yeah. Right. I didn't make up that name. Our friend Steve Kwan gave that to me, and it ended up sticking. I'm about to be 54 in June, and the older I get, and the more wrecked my body gets, the more I like to play closed guard because it allows me to, in ideal situations, control somebody's athleticism, break their posture, structure, and base, and use less energy from the bottom than trying to chase young people around with open guard, okay? So how many of you have been to any of my seminars or lessons on base? Raise your hand. Okay, so what we're doing here, some of that you may have seen a little bit during that seminar. It definitely builds on what I had done before. What I'm going to be showing is how in the bottom to mess up somebody's base, posture, and structure. Some tricks that I use. Okay, any questions so far? I haven't taught anything, so why is there questions? All right, talking about Missy has agreed to be my wonderful uke. Woo! Yay! I was like, if I can't beat her, I'm gonna make her join me, right? So when I have Missy in my closed guard, what is my first order of operations? What do I need to do first to make this more advantageous for me? Break her posture, right? But Missy is good at and knows the same thing that Derek showed yesterday and the same thing I taught about curling her hips up and peeing on the ceiling. So when she does that, I just assume everybody calls it that, right? So one of the best ways I've found to help people understand this motion is think about peeing up on the ceiling tiles. Sorry, Jesse, we're going to clean them off after we're done. I swear. Right. So when Missy pees on the ceiling, it makes it really difficult. God, I got to quit saying that. It's just so...
Yeah. Right?
Pretend you can. Right. When Missy curls her hips up like that and engages her glutes and her core, it makes it really difficult for me, even no-handed. Yep. Show me how awesome that is, right? It makes it really difficult for me to break her posture down. Even when I use my legs, she's gonna raise her hips up at the same time, okay? That is tough for me to do, and I'm gonna wear myself out trying to do that, okay? That's why we do that hip tilt, because it makes you harder to break down even if somebody is stronger and bigger and more athletic than you, okay? But here's the trick. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my hips, okay? So I've got my closed guard locked around her. She does her hip tilt, right? I'm gonna do my hip tilt. That takes my butt off the ground and puts my weight on her, okay? So I'm never flat, rarely I'm flat, ooh, cramp. I'm rarely flat with my small of my back on the mat when I'm doing closed guard. My hips tilt up just like Missy's does. And now I need to change the angle because she's solid in this vector, right? Oh my God, look at this. All the things we've learned are blending together. Thomas talked vectors, right? So she's strong in this vector, so I need to change that. So what I'm going to do is this. Just a little tilt of my hips. If she raises her hands up, you might be able to see it. I'm going to show it without her and exaggerate it in a second. So she tilts, I tilt, I shift my hip. When I shift my hip, I'm connected. I shifted to my right. My hip went a little bit to my left. My head comes a little bit to my right. I'm connected tight on that left side. When I shift, if she doesn't adjust, I bring her down. Okay? So again, she tilts her hip, I tilt mine up. I'm going to shift the other way now. My hip goes to my right, my head goes a little to my left, and then even if she's tilted up, I break her posture down. Okay? Without Missy, hips are tilted like so. Whoop, just a little bit like this. That's basically all I'm doing. And that gives me the ability to bring her into this kind of hole that I've created. Does that make sense? Okay, we're going to talk in a minute about what she does to counter that, and then what I do to counter that. And really, that's a lot of the game of close guard for me. Okay, any questions?
Are you a clapper?
I am a clapper, so let's go. What's that?
Have you on your own gym?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
2008. 2008.
Oh, my.
I started with him in my basement.
Nice.
I can't get away from that. All right, on two. 1, 2. We're going to work now on the top person's counter and then your counter to that counter. Okay, so Missy, could you put me in your guard, please? All right, Simon Missy's guard. I can pee on the ceiling. Right? So.
When's your birthday?
So, yes, kids. Soon I won't. I'm too old. I don't have the pressure for that. So, right. So when my hips tilted up, I'm difficult to pull straight down. Right. Very easy for me to counter that. When she shifts her angle, now I'm not difficult. Right. But let's do that again. She shifts her angle. What happened? What did I do differently? Missy can feel it. I know. She probably knows it already because she's awesome. Right? I am countering that by just dropping my other hip back. Right? So if she shifts her angle to my left, I drop my right hip back. My weight, my right butt cheek weights down my right foot from here. Super easy, right? Now I've got my weight set back, countering that pull. She shifts again to the other side. I drop my weight back. And the guard might open because her ankles are getting tired, right? That's the bonus with this little hip thing, is I rarely work super hard to open and close guard, because if I'm able to maintain my posture like this, eventually their ankles wear out, right? Not always, because there's no guarantees in life, right? But that happens a lot. So we're going to practice this now, all right? Sorry, I know I'm fat. It's hard to keep your ankles there, right? Tilt the hip. She tries to pull me down straight. We're going to test my base. That's good. She shifts her angle. I get pulled down. Now she shifts her angle, and I drop my weight back. And so what's her response got to be? She's got to change her angle again, right? So she changes it the other way. And then when she changes it the other way, I'm vulnerable to that. Does that make sense? Let's do it. Switch it real quick. All right. She's got good base. I shift. She adjusts. I can't do it. So I shift. She adjusts. I can't do it. That's the game. We're trying to beat each other to that point where we nullify the other person. Okay? Every time she shifts her angle, I gotta shift to the other way, right? And bring her down. So that's the game.
This person should be reacting, not like, so here, stay stable.
Yep.
Once you switch, then I have to adjust.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And then my job on the bottom is to adjust to that. Does that make sense? It's a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But that's the game with closed guard, right? Was trying to break that posture. Okay, and we're going to do some things with it once we broke the posture, and we're going to talk about things to do when you can't break the posture. Just stand up. Okay? Any questions? All right, let's do it on 2, 1, 2. Thank you, sir. I'm trying to make this for the bottom person, but I want you to understand how to counter it from the top too. As the top person, we're just doing this. We're maintaining this hip tilt, and we're just shifting our weight back and forth based on the way that they're pulling us, right? If we're standing and Missy goes to pull me, I just shift. I got to shift this weight back to counter that, right? If I shift it the wrong way and she like this way, I'm letting her pull me. But if she's gonna pull me with this hand, I just have to shift that weight back and sit on that back leg. We're doing the same thing on our knees. Okay? Any questions on that? All right. So let's talk about when somebody stands in your close. Are you good with standing in close guard? Okay. She stands in the close guard. Oh, this is terrible, right? I don't like any of this. Okay? Now I'm peeing that way.
Sorry, Amy.
Hey, right on my own head. That's awful. So, here's what I want. Here's a way. I learned this from our coach, Chris Hutter. I know, he knows a little jiu-jitsu, right? Just a little bit, right? So, here's a way to help counter and unbalance them when they go to stand in your closed guard, okay? I'm going to stay connected with my legs. And now I'm too late. Once she builds that structure with even one leg, I am too late. Just come back down. Yep. So she starts to build that structure. Boom. All I'm doing here, I've got my hip tilted up. I'm connected with these legs. My weight is on Missy. When I feel her start to shift and come up, I just drop the small of my back to the mat. Okay? Because I'm connected to her, because she's carrying 175, really 205 pounds of me, right?
180.
It's hard for her to stand up, but I can't do this if I wait until she builds a structure with one leg. Now there's no. She's doing a good solid lunge here, and if she gets up to a squat position, I'm in trouble. Now I have to bail on my guard and do something different. But, again, as with everything in life, timing is important. When I feel her start to shift to stand up, I drop my weight down, keeping the guard closed, okay? Notice that automatically breaks her posture. She falls down and forward, and I can do my guard game from there. Any questions on that? Super stupid and simple, right? Why am I even here? You guys could look this up on YouTube. All right, on two, 1, 2. So, I had a question about guard height, right? And there's so many different ways to do things in jiu-jitsu. Some people play a really high guard, whatever. I like to keep my guard around the hips. And so when I curl my hip up and get this tight guard, I'm putting weight on Amelia's hips, right? Maybe if I break her posture down, I would play a higher guard, but this just tends to be where I like. And here's why, and you can see it easier with you have a partner without a pajama top on, right? Because when she does the hip tilt forward, beautiful, perfect, and I'm going to adjust for that, right? I'm going to shift off, my left hip's going to go to the side, okay? My left inner thigh is going to connect to her rib cage. Watch how that misaligns her spine, right? That's what you're doing with that, okay? Derek talked about it yesterday. Thomas talked about it in terms of vectors. Like if we have an aligned skeleton, we can carry a lot of weight with that structure. So anytime you're doing any jiu-jitsu, if you can misalign your partner's skeleton by either moving the head or twisting the hips or doing something like this, see how Amelia is misaligned right now? That is going to make it a lot easier for me to break her posture down. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why when I'm doing guard this way, I'm low on the hips because I feel like I don't have a good enough connection if I scooch my legs up higher to really misalign that spine. Okay, any questions so far? Thank you so much, you ruled. Appreciate you. Would you mind? Okay. So let's talk a little bit about strategies for keeping somebody down. Oh, any questions on the standing? That work okay for everybody? Okay, let's talk about strategies and how to keep somebody down once you break their posture. Okay? Gi grips are awesome, but when you get older and arthritic and your fingers get hurt and then you're trying to play guitar the next day and you're like,
sponsored by a tape company.
yes, exactly. Right? So I really prefer the old collar tie overhook, right? So I misalign Missy's spine, I bring her down, I'm going to collar tie, and I'm going to overhook here. All right? I'm going to misalign her spine when I bring her down. So I'm not just going to hug her to me like this, I'm going to move her head over. Okay? Thomas talked about the collar tie yesterday, how it's at the base of the skull, and you're pulling the head down. I'm pulling it down and to the side. You good? I'm sorry. I washed my gi, I swear. Okay? I'm going to overhook and pinch here. Okay? If my guard opens up, here's a little trick. Okay? Missy's super strong, and she's going to posture up out of here. Go ahead and posture up out of there. Oh, that sucks, right? Posture up out of there. Posture up out of there. Oh, that's hard to deal with. Ready? Posture up out of there. Okay. What I'm doing is this. Grabbing behind her head, hanging on her, pinching this arm. I'm going to open my guard now. I'm going to drop my left foot because my right hand's in the collar tie. I'm going to drop my left foot. I'm going to drive that left foot into the ground, basically putting my weight up on my shoulders and in my hands. So when she tries to posture up, she's got to carry all 150 pounds of me.
You lost some weight.
Right? It's going to get lower every time.
So you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I did.
You're
Man.
150, I'm 180.
Perfect. Perfect, right? So really, without Missy, what we're doing is just this. See, when I engage that leg, it drives my weight into the shoulder. If I engage this leg, it drives my weight into the other shoulder. Okay, so that is a much easier way to hold somebody's posture down than grabbing gi grips and trying to row, right? Any questions? Okay, let's play with that on 2, 1, 2. So, given what we're just one point, and then we're gonna move on to a couple other things before we wrap up and everybody goes to lunch and has open mat in like 15 minutes or whatever. Doing this stuff, Missy can break my posture without using her hands, right? Like she can bring me down without hands. If I adjust even, like, and she adjusts, counter that, boom, I'm coming down without my hands. Or without her using her hands, which is great to learn how to do because then she can use her hands for whatever the hell else she wants to, right? Yes, she can break my posture here and choke the bejesus out of me here, right? She can break my posture and, you know, use her hands to clinch to keep me, if we're, God forbid, if we're like doing self-defense or MMA or whatever, like she can use those to clinch then and keep from getting hit. She can break my arms by using those hands, right? So remember, when you're learning to do stuff like this, I feel like it's a great idea to do it without the use of your hands. Because if we start with like the gi grips, we're primates. We're used to, like, we manipulate things with these hands, right? We end up relying on them. And if at my, 85 pounds of muscle, she's not gonna break my posture without using her legs, right? If she relies on those hands, it's not gonna happen, right? But once she uses those legs and those angles, I'm in trouble. Whee! Again. Right. So any questions about that? Okay, so we have about maybe 15 minutes. I'm going to talk about one of my favorite sweeps, just because I love it, and it's not deep half sweep, which is pretty awesome too. But one of my favorite sweeps when you're from just breaking posture, and then we're going to talk about what if this doesn't work, because sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes I get somebody who's 180 pounds and twice as big as me, and I can't. I get a 120-pound behemoth, and like I can't do anything, right? So can we switch, please? Thank you. All right. Missy's awesome at posture, but I'm awesome at posture breaking. Okay? Now, and I'm going to do the work with my hand, the work with my legs and hips, but my hands are going to supplement. Right? We all know, like Missy just taught, getting that hand across your partner's center line is bad for them. Right? This good, this bad. This good, this bad for her. Right? Bad for me, good for her. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Staying alive. All right. So she's got great posture. Whether we're in a gi or no gi, it doesn't matter. If we're in gi, I like the behind the tricep grip and the snotty sleeve grip here. For no gi, it's wrist control and cupping the tricep. But I'm going to shift my hips. I'm going to bring her down, and at the same time bring this hand across her center line. Okay? We're going to get, I love what she taught just before this because it plays right into what I'm doing now. We're going to get chest over this tricep, right? We're just flipped upside down from what Missy was teaching us, okay? Chest over the tricep. I maintain this angle here, and I reach around and I grab her lat, right? She's got a behemoth lat. It's hard for my little 60-pound frame to get. Right. I'm going to be an infant by the time we're done with this, right? Right. I'm going to grab her lat and hug her to my sternum, okay? And if I hug her to my sternum, even if I let go of this hand, it's hard for her to get that arm back, okay? Hug her to my sternum and maintain my angle. Once I get this arm trapped, I'm going to sweep her. I'm going to do it by putting my left foot down on the mat, and I'm going to scooch my butt under her. I'm like an ice cream scoop. Okay? Scooch, scooch, scooch. I scooch, and I keep this connection, and I pull her up on top of me. Right? She's got no base now. Right? Not connected to the floor in any meaningful way. All I have to do now is drop this leg down, let her fall to the mat, and come up on top. And then I can gift wrap her, do unchristian things to her neck. Or wrist lock. I'm in so much trouble. Missy.
No, Kenny.
Wrist lock. Kenny? You want to be my, okay, Ken? Okay, one more time. I'm going to break her posture with my legs and my hips by changing an angle and giving her a hole to fall into. As she falls into that hole, I guide this arm across. Grab with my lat, or grab her lat, hug it to my sternum so her elbow's trapped and can't get out. Now my guard opens up. I keep my knees tight. I put my left foot in this position on the mat. That's what pushes me under, under, under. Once she's up here, all I have to do is drop this leg down and fall into mount. Any questions?
Oh, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible that you could gift wrap her from that position?
I think I could.
Bottom? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Well, does gift wrap work from the bottom? Okay, you didn't teach it, so I don't believe it. And you want gift wrap from the bottom, privates? Go to her.
I was just saying, such a great seminar she was. I see it already. So.
Yeah, I know. Awesome. All right, let's do it on 2. 1, 2. This does work on people
bigger than you
Really?
really well if you're using your foot and your hips to scoop under them. If you're trying to pull, not gonna work well, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. I do this thing and I get Matt here, right? I hug his ginormous muscular lat. If I try to pull him up over me, oh God, I'm gonna hurt myself, right? I'm gonna have a hernia. We're gonna be in the emergency room. I'm gonna miss the rest of the camp. I have to take this foot, drop it to the mat. I have to push off this foot and just maintain this connection and scooch under him. I can use this hand to assist and pull this knee toward me if I need to, right? Once Matt's here, he's helpless like a baby. Good night, my friend. Right? Okay, once Matt's here, all I have to do is let him drop. I straighten my leg out so we don't get stuck, and I'm in this great gift wrap position that an amazing coach just taught last. Okay, but it has to be, without Matt here, it has to be this motion.
It's a reverse shrimp.
Yeah, it's a reverse shrimp. And you don't have to do it all at once. Rarely when I'm rolling do I get the sweep all at once. It's rarely this one big, fast, athletic motion. Mostly because I'm 95 and weigh 55 pounds. Right? Right. Here, and it's a scoot, scoot, scoot. Drop this leg so you can roll over it, and then I end up on top. Okay, let's do it a couple more times. Then we're going to talk about getting the heck out of there if none of that works. Right, on 2, 1, 2. Okay, one last thing. Where's my friend and Uke and who? Yeah.
I'm helping people. They didn't get it.
Oh, that's because I'm such a tiny, neat little coach.
It was a giant person that I was helping, yes.
I know. Okay. God dang it. Missy is so freaking good at jiu-jitsu. There's no way. It's so true. There's no way. It is true, really. It is. I'm not being a smartass. It's true. But I can't break her posture. She is tilting her hips, and my ankles are getting tired, and I'm going to lose my guard any second. One of my rules of closed guard is I open it on my terms. Okay? I don't wait for my ankles to wear out and they pop open and I waste all this energy trying to maintain closed guard when it's way too late, right? So when I am working underneath somebody here and I can't get anything to happen, just stand up. Is there anybody here who does not know how to stand in base? Good.
That is a lie.
Oh my God. Oh. Jesse has decided that is a lie. But we can just stand in base from down here, too. Okay? So I can't do anything. My ankles are getting tired. It's time to stand in base. So here's what I like to do. Your results may vary. Your methods may vary. This is just what a 45-pound weakling likes to do. Right? I know. It's a problem. It's a problem. Anybody have any insure? I'm going to open my guard, and my knees are going to stay tight to Missy. Okay? My feet go onto the mat. I'm going to pick which side I'm going to stand in base on, and because my left hip sucks, I like to have that left hip down so I'm not driving off of it, right? So go here, knees tight. I start to do basically a shrimp, right? My left elbow comes out and I circle my elbow up, right? My right foot is on the mat so I can drive off of it. Notice I'm controlling this hand. This is the hand I need to worry about stopping me from standing up. Because if I start to come out like this to stand up, and that hand grabs that foot, I'm 40 pounds, and she's a 210-pound muscle mama, and I'm not getting up. How low can I go? That's the question.
Little baby 7 pounds.
Right. So, can't do squat. Open guard, knees are tight. Pick a side I want to move my hips to. I move my hips to my right. As I come to my left side, circle my elbow, because this is hard. I'm a weakling. This is easy.
Physical therapist love that.
It's a vector, exactly. I control this hand, and I can control it like this. I like to do it like this, because now I can, I'm sorry. Now I can stiff arm and keep her from closing distance easily. And I'm out, and we continue our match, our roll, or I'm terrified because she's so good at jiu-jitsu and I run. You find me hiding behind Heidi Brothers Coffee. Right. Little 25-pound me, 25-pound me behind the dumpster. Like, did somebody abandon a baby? All right, any questions about that? Let's practice that for a couple minutes, then we're done. All right, on two, 1, 2. You are not going to ever get anything fancy, exciting out of me. Yeah, very true. Oh, I'm kicking you out of my gym. No, just kidding. So thank you guys for letting me share some of what I do today. I'm really grateful to be here. I've got a ton of old friends here, met a bunch of new friends, and I'm really happy to be part of this community. So thank you guys for being such a great group today.